Peace, peace. What's the word, everybody? Give everybody a chance to tune on in before we start building on the subject matter for the day, man. Hopefully, y'all having a powerful Tuesday thus far, man. We got some important things that we want to build on today, man. I got some things that I want to get off my chest. Y'all know how I go, man. As always, once I'm inspired, once I'm motivated, I tap in with y'all so y'all can get some of the knowledge, wisdom, understanding, whatever it is that you gather from the things that I talk about. But I got something that I want to discuss today. I got something that I want to vent on today. So hopefully y'all got time. Andronicus, peace, what's the word? Hopefully y'all got some time today, man. About an hour, man, so I can get these things off my chest, man. Montel, peace, what's happening? What's the word, man? How this Tuesday treating everybody? Yeah, we gotta build. We gotta do some build. We gotta do some building today. We gotta do some building for sure today. Got to talk about something serious, man. Like when the price of passion, man. When loving your people goes wrong and things of that nature. Justin, peace. What's the word? Montel, Justin, peace. Everything is all good my way, man. Everything is good. We centered and we balanced. Steven, peace. What's happening? William, peace. What's happening? What's the word? CC, peace, queen. What's going on? Create strategy, peace, what's the word? How y'all living, man? How y'all feeling? Hopefully y'all taking care of yourselves out here, man. Because again, as I always continue to warn y'all, it's real in the field. You know what I'm saying? So war on us, man. So we got to make sure that we doing what's necessary and required in regards to protecting our immune system, protecting the heart, protecting the blood, protecting just the body in general and the mind. So we got to make sure we doing what's necessary in order to stay healthy out here, because it's an attack on us. It's an attack on the mind and body, man. So we got to make sure we feeding the mind and the body the right foods. Got to do that. We got to make sure we getting the proper amount of rest. Got to make sure we exercise and staying in shape, getting that endurance and that stamina up, getting that strength up. Got to make sure we doing all of this and make sure we doing all of those things. Javon, peace. What's happening, my brother? God is peace, queen. What's happening? Andronicus for sure. Gotta prioritize that education, man, that information, that knowledge. That should always be of a priority. That should always be of a priority. But yeah, man, we gotta make sure we doing what's right and exact. And that kind of correlates with what I'm talking about in regards to the price of passion. And y'all know what's up when it comes to the price of passion, man. And when loving your people, man, can end up getting you killed or just stressing you out. You got more like you want something for your people or for somebody more than they want it from them for themselves. And that's when that stuff can turn around or backfire on you. When you want to see your people elevate more so than they actually want to elevate, that's when it tends to backfire. That's when it tends to backfire, man. When you out here trying to save a people who do not want to be saved in the first place. So you got to know and understand, man, when somebody wants to be saved or when somebody wants some information that'll point them in the right direction, a lot of times we waste time on the wrong people, and we got to stop doing that. That's called misplaced passion. I'm not about to waste this passionate energy on people who don't even want the energy in the first place. And then you get mad when they don't receive the energy properly. That's your fault. They letting you know that they don't want that information. They letting you know they don't want that knowledge. A lot of people be talking about or asking, like relationship advice, and they be saying things like, well, I be trying to talk to these young brothers. I be trying to talk to these women. I be trying to talk to these men, but they don't want to listen. Stop talking to the people that don't want to listen to you. You making a decision. Stop talking to them. There's plenty of people that want to listen to what you have to say. Then you got to find those individuals. You got to talk to those individuals. You build with those individuals. I'm not telling you to waste your time on individuals that's not willing to listen. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. You might as well talk to this wall right here. We're not talking to individuals that's not willing to listen to what we have to say, especially when we feel like what we have to say is beneficial, can elevate the person mentally and physically. So if you feel like you have some helpful information, present that information to somebody that's willing to receive it. Stop wasting your time on those individuals that choose to remain stubborn and closed-minded to whatever it is that you have to offer. You gotta stop wasting your time and energy. Gotta stop doing it. Stop wasting that passion. Stop wasting that passion, anything. Like, listen, everything is energy. Everything vibrates. Everything can take a toll on you. So when you are passionate and you misplace that passion into the wrong person, then when the right person comes around, you no longer have that passion. You no longer have that energy. So you cannot give them the information or the knowledge in the form that they needed because you misplaced your passion and you used all that energy up on the wrong individual. And we got to stop doing that. Got to stop doing it. You wasting all your time trying to teach somebody who doesn't want to be taught. So then when the person that actually wants to be taught comes to you, you have nothing for them. You have no gas left in the tank. You done. You won't eat. You empty. Because you wasted all your energy on this wrong person because you was being stubborn. You try to teach somebody who doesn't want to be taught. Why are you trying to listen, if you're a dude, why are you trying to deal with a woman that doesn't want to be taught? That doesn't want to hear what you have to say? Why are you continuing to try to teach that woman? Like, no, it's time for you to leave. You the one being stubborn, thinking you can change somebody. That's your problem. Stop thinking you can change people. Because you can't. At the end of the day, it revolves around that person. When they want to change, they will change. You can't force anybody to change. So if you're trying to chop it up with a woman and she's not listening to what you have to say, move on. Stop complaining about it. And vice versa. You dealing with a dude and he's not acting the way that you feel like he should act, move on. Don't complain about it though. Don't try to force him to change. Listen, he's showing you who he truly is. She is showing you who she truly is. Listen to that. Listen to it. Walker, peace, what's happening? What's happening? Maze, peace, what's happening? So we gotta understand that, man. Stop trying to force people to change. Stop trying to force people to receive some information that you have for them. Solo, peace, what's the word? Kurt, peace, peace. Appreciate you tapping in. That's part of our problem, man. We think, listen, you gotta understand. We think that the information that we possess is gonna save any and everybody. No, listen, the information that you have, like I've said numerous times. I've said this numerous times, but the information that you have, it may have helped you, but it may not help the next person. So guess what though? There are people who resemble your situation that when you receive that knowledge, it helped you. So there are people that are in that same boat. You trying to present that information to people who are not in that boat that you were in, and you expect them to receive the information the same way that you received it and then implement it the same way that you implemented it. It's not going to happen. There are people who are in the same type of situation that you was in that need that information. That's who you need to reach. That's who you need to reach. Like, I don't waste my time. I don't waste my time with certain individuals because I already know. I already know what type of energy they coming with. Like, I got people in the fam, like, these are the people that I chop it up with that's in the fam. I got people in my fam that's younger than me that, like I said, we brought up in a religious type of household. So, you know what I'm saying? The family is real religious. You know, down south, that's the religion capital. You know what I'm saying? So when you down south Mississippi, man, you dealing with religion. So I got younger cousins, man, that come to me and they may read things about, you know, ancient our ancestors and things of that nature. And they start learning the truth about religion. But you know you can't bring that to most of your family members because they're going to view you in a certain type of light. But they know that I'm the one that can understand. I understand this process. I understand this information because I've walked the walk. I've already walked it. So I got younger cousins that when they got questions about certain things like that, they hit me up. I'm going to talk to them. I'm not going to try to force my family members that's knee deep in the religion to try to see things my way. I'm going to talk to the young cousin that got questions that she done read some things about ancient Egypt, Ethiopia, Central Africa, West Africa, wherever. And now she got questions. She was like, man, they've been teaching us, they've been having us believe this all this time. The whole while I just study my ancestors and I feel like we should be subscribing to something like this. I'm going to chop it up with her. She's more open. She's more open. I'm not wasting time on the elders in the family that's trying to force the religion down my throat. Whole while I don't agree with it. I ain't going to waste time trying to talk to them, debate with them, argue with them. They set in them ways. I'm directing all my passion and my energy toward the younger cousin who has questions, who knows that some of the stuff that I may be saying is correct and accurate. And I'm one of the ones that walked away from it while the whole family is still a part of it. She is willing to be taught. She is willing to learn and accept and receive what it is that I may have to tell her. So I save the passion for somebody like that. I've wasted enough of that passion and energy debating with people who don't really care to listen to what I have to say. They just waiting for me to get done talking so they can respond or so they can make their point. Oh, God is for sure. For sure, yeah, the energy vampires are out here. Energy vampires are out here. Most definitely, they are deep. William, and that's the best thing to do. Keep it moving, keep it pushing. Keep it pushing. Do not let your passion be your downfall. Like my passion, it could be a strength and a weakness at the same time. And a lot of times that's the case. When you analyze your strengths and your weaknesses, a lot of times our strengths can be our weaknesses and we don't even realize it. But my passion is one of those type of things. It could be a strength and it could be a weakness. It could be a strength, it could be a weakness. It's up to me though. It's up to me. Do not let your passion be your downfall. Do not let your love for a person be your downfall. That's what we call blind love. Blind love is just as bad or detrimental as hate. Like, listen to what I'm telling y'all. Blind love is just as destructive and detrimental as hate. You do not want to be loving anybody blindly. Like, you should love with reason behind it. Like, your love, it should make sense. It should make sense. Blind love is dangerous. Like, loving somebody blindly is dangerous. It's very dangerous. So that blind love is just as dangerous as hate. See, people don't want to like talk about that type of stuff though. That blind love, that obsession, those type of things. Those type of things are just as dangerous as hate. You might as well hate somebody, man. If you about to be sitting out here obsessed, acting like you can't live with somebody, and then you just loving somebody without knowing them, and you loving somebody to the point where you really willing to neglect your health and neglect yourself, that's blind love, man. We can't do that. We can't do that. Blind love is dangerous. God is 100%. 100%. The only ones that, I don't even want to say the only ones that we give up on, but the only ones that we just got to keep it moving on are the ones that are truly not trying to listen to what we have to say. Those are the ones we got to keep it moving. See, we can't waste time. It's almost like when you in school and you taking a test that's timed. When you taking a timed test, like if you come across a problem that you don't know out off the bat, you got to skip it. You got to move on to the next one. Because if you waste time on that problem, it's a good chance that you won't finish the test. So we got to look at people in that same type of light. If we got a message that needs to hit a certain type of people, we can't waste time on the people that's not willing to receive that message. All right, boom, I introduced this to you. You not trying to listen to what I have to say, move on to the next one. That's what we got to do. A lot of times we waste time on that person that doesn't want to listen. It's almost like when you on YouTube and you got a person that's on YouTube that has a high status and they getting a lot of love. They put out a video, got a lot of love. I'm talking about 5,000 likes, 10 dislikes. And all the comments are positive, but it's one comment that's negative. And they focus on that sole negative comment. And they act like the whole world hates them. They act like the whole world is hating on them because that negative comment that they choosing to focus on. So we got to watch what we focus on. A lot of times we like to focus on that one person that can't see the light, opposed to the 20 other people who trying to see the light, but we not giving them the attention that they deserve. We giving all that attention to the person that ain't trying to see the light. So we got to stop wasting our time with those individuals. And it's a lot of them, unfortunately. But we got plenty of younger individuals that are open to seeing the light. And we got to touch them. We can't waste time. If you introduce some things that's beneficial to a person and they immediately shun you, condemn you, and just write you off, move on, keep it moving. You done did your part. You done introduced that information. You done introduced that knowledge. You done introduced it. You done did your part. You've done your good deed. Don't waste no more time after that. Don't waste no more time after that. And that's what I see that we do. We do that a lot. We waste our time on the wrong people. And that is when it becomes your downfall, when you waste your time on the wrong people, on the wrong person. That is where I see a lot of us have problems. We trying to get the message across to the wrong people. And a lot of times, as I've always said, it be people in your family and things of that nature. But we waste a lot of time on the wrong people. People that's letting you know out the gate, they not trying to hear what it is that you have to offer. Why even waste time on a person that already let you know off the bat? I ain't trying to hear what you talking about. I'm not trying to hear that black talk. I'm not trying to hear that black stuff. I'm not trying to hear that healthy eating stuff. All right, cool. But it's somebody out here that's trying to hear it. I'm going to find them individuals. I'm going to find that person. But we like to waste that time and energy, man. And again, it's time and energy that depletes you, that drains you, that makes you tired. When you sit and debate with a person that's not trying to understand you, that's not trying to listen, that drains your energy. That drains your energy. We got to preserve the energy for the people that matter. We got to preserve that energy for the people that matter. Walker, for sure. And that's what it is. Like they tell you, man, just come back to those individuals. Focus on the individuals that's trying to listen. Those that wasn't trying to listen, come back to them. Come back to them. That's how you got to do it. Ghetto guru, you say our leaders always fail and get killed. And see, I don't want to say they failed. I don't want to say I don't want to say our leaders of the past have failed. Like I don't want to say Malcolm X and all these type of individuals failed. They didn't necessarily fail because again, Malcolm, like the teachings of Malcolm X, the work of Malcolm X, it is continuing to impact people such as myself. So there's no failure in that. There is no failure in that. Malcolm X is still impacting lives. And he has been going for a very long time. So there is no failure in that. There is no failure in that at all. So I don't want to say that the leaders failed. Because they didn't fail, man. When you got timeless work, that outlasts you, and it's still impacting lives, and it's transforming individuals, there is no failing in that. There is no failing. He did what he set out to do. He just wasn't around long enough to continue to do it. But there is no failing with that. There is no failing with that at all. Yeah, their teachings and all that outlast them. So that's good, man. That's timeless. That's the whole thing about timeless content, timeless information. It's the whole thing about that timeless music. Like that's why you should make timeless music instead of the trendy music and things of that nature. That's stuff that's going to outlive you. And it's going to impact future generations. So the Malcolm X's, the Huey Newtons, the Fred, like they put out timeless information, timeless content. No matter what era we in, their information will always be relevant. The words that they spoke will always be relevant. The interviews they conducted will always be relevant. Always. But y'all, man, I got something that I wanna read to y'all, something that I wrote though. So I feel like now we well into it. It ain't necessarily like a rap or nothing like that, man. It was just literally something that I wrote, man. I got inspired. So I just wrote some things down when it comes to our people and things of that nature, man. So it's something that I wrote, and I feel like I feel like it's very relevant in regards to mainly the condition of black people for the most part. Very relevant. Some of these words that I've written down. So I just want to share with you all what I read. You know what I'm saying? You know, I inspired to write something, so I jotted it down, man. I jotted it down how it came to me. So I wrote it down, and now I just want to share it with you all, and y'all can let me know if it resonates, man. Let me know if it resonates. Let me know if it's relevant, things of that nature. But what I wrote, here it go. We would rather fight each other opposed to the system that murdered your great-great-grandfather in front of your great-great-grandmother and grandfather/mother to merely instill fear, the conditioning. You would rather view that beautiful queen as your enemy instead of a Carolyn Bryant whose lie resulted in the murder and disfiguration of a 14-year-old Emmett Till. You afraid to follow the guidelines of Dr. Sebi and Layla Africa, but not of a Dr. Fauci, whose bloodline is responsible for introducing a multitude of illnesses to your ancestors, which still impacts us today. We will kill one another over shoes in neighborhoods we don't even own. Oh, and don't forget, wearing the wrong color could spell your demise, the conditioning. We would rather listen to someone encouraging us to rob, steal, murder, do drugs instead of someone encouraging us to get in tune with self, be healthy, and bang on the beast. Sister, you would rather listen to that man tell you to shake your behind and then get mad at him when sex is all he is after, the hypocrisy. Passion is perceived as problematic for those with the matching habits that I mentioned. Passion is not a part of the problem. It's a part of the solution because it takes passion and persistence to get the movement moving. And that's the end of that, man. And I'm going to finish that up, man. But I feel like that's the beginning of something powerful that I'm working on in regards to writing. But let me know if y'all think what I just said is relevant in regards to the condition of our people today. Let me know if y'all think that is relevant. Because a lot of, like, I just started thinking about things and I was actually motivated. If y'all know anything about music, it's a Goody Mob song where CeeLo just snapped at the end of that song. I think it's called Fighting. And he snapped at the end of that song, man, just going off on black people pretty much, man. And that just kind of inspired what I just wrote. Master Tube, yeah, I got a few books out, but you know, some of them are on the shelf and I ain't got them out though. My book on health though is on Amazon, but I'm definitely about to get more serious about writing though, as far as like publishing books and things of that nature. I'm about to take that way more seriously. Really about to do that, man, in regards to just getting the message out in book form. So I'm definitely about to start taking that more seriously. Ghetto guru, man, like, yeah. And again, that's a discussion that every time I try to have, it's only a few people. Anthony Peace, what's happening? It's only a few people that you can have that type of conversation with. And I've talked about this in regards to my people, and that's the religious nature of our people. And I feel like that's one of the ways that we have become easily enslaved, that so-called spiritual nature of black people. Like, that's one of those things that it can work in our favor or it can cause us to be enslaved. And I feel like a lot of people, since we are so spiritual by nature, you have had other groups, they prey on that. They prey on that. And that becomes a weakness. It becomes a weakness. And so we done been, man, I don't know how many times in my lifetime, it probably has been over 10. But I think it's been like over 10 times in my lifetime, I'm going on 31, at least over 10 that I can remember, that Jesus was supposed to have came back and the world was about to end. We were in the end of days. We done been in the end of days according to people since I done been born. And we done been in the end of days 100 years before now. Probably 200 years before now. We done been in the end of days since people have existed, according to everybody else. Everybody literally thinks in every generation, in every era, this is it, the end of days. Every era, every generation has had their end of day prophecy. Every era then thought they was the last era. Literally, you can find an end of day prophecy in almost every generation, every era. So every era swears that this is it. This is the end of days. It's the end of day. They think that this is it. Literally, it's not it, man. It's not it. It's not it. I know that that's not popular information. Okay, cool. Peace. What's happening? Oh, Kuma, man, like I'm telling you, man, that's one of the things that I kind of miss. Like, I feel like when I was doing music, I was hitting more people, because, we like to be entertained. So when you put a nice beat to it and then you putting the information out with a decent delivery, you're going to connect with more people, but it ain't too late for me to get back into music. It's just I don't trust a lot of people, man. I've tried to do the music thing, and you got to work with too many people. And the way my schedule's set up, I'm not at the liberty to do everything myself like I once did back in the day. So you got to start working with people, and people just grind me out here, especially when you come with a certain message, man. When you come with a certain message, everybody don't want to work with you. Everybody don't want to do right with your content. When you come with a certain message, man, a lot of people, contrary to what people may say, people act like they down for the cause, but people really don't want to be affiliated with a person that ain't afraid to speak his mind and speak about the system. They don't want to be affiliated with that person. People are afraid, man. People are afraid. People are afraid, point blank, period. When you out here, when I'm out here, I'm doing music, I'm banging on religion, I'm banging on whoever the president is, I'm banging on all of them. In the music, people don't want to be affiliated with that. They're afraid of what's gonna come to them. Oh man, you made the beats for this dude and he talking about this, you going down with him. They're afraid of that. They're afraid of that. They're afraid of that, man. So I ain't afraid to speak the truth to power, man. I got tired of dealing with the frauds around here, man. I just got tired of dealing with the nonsense, this artificial energy. Like, come on, man. I'm trying to go in when I do this music, man. I'm not here to play around. I ain't here to make club music. I ain't here to do none of that. I ain't here to make radio friendly music. Don't nobody even listen to the radio no more. So I ain't here to do that. I'm here to get some things off my chest. You either with it or you not. And a lot of people be playing around, man, because they're afraid, man. They truly afraid, man. They don't want to be affiliated with said person. People don't want to talk about that type of stuff. But when you one of the ones that speak the truth and you stand on it, people do not want to be around you. People do not want to be affiliated with you because they are afraid of what's going to happen to them by being associated with you. They don't care about what happens to you. They are afraid of what happens to them because of their affiliation. So I ain't got time for that, man. Don't be scary around me. I ain't got time for that. I come with this message. I done been speaking on what I'm speaking on for over 10 years. If you afraid of any type of consequences that come with being affiliated with a person such as myself, don't be around me. Don't be around me. Oh, Walker, for sure, man. For sure. Yeah, we could definitely link up, man. Like, we could definitely do that. It ain't nothing for me to get back into that zone at all. Like, once I find trustworthy people, I'm good. Once I find trustworthy people, man, it's like I turn into a writing machine. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, the end of days, like, I got sick of that. It was a few times. So, 2000, y'all already know about Y2K. That was annoying. Then we had at one point, it was some times in between this time that I'm about to mention. But then we had Y2K, and it was probably some times before that. I just don't remember. But I remember Y2K vividly. I mean, that people think that this pandemic was something, or this pandemic was something. Y2K, boy, the shelves was just as empty. People literally thought this is what was so funny about that. If you thought the world was gonna end, what good did it do to you to buy all that stuff? You buying all the paper towels, buying all the tissue, buying all the water, yet you think the world is about to end. That made absolutely no sense. People was loading up on all type of product, and they think the world is gonna end. That's counter. That didn't make any sense. Shelves was empty. But Y2K, that's one at a time. Yep, the world is about to go. We about to go. We ain't gonna make it. This it. And it was one time where it was I think it was June 6th, 2006. So I think that added up to 666, and you know how that go. People got the wrong interpretation of 666, and they think that that's demonic, so they afraid of 3 6s. So when it was 666 on the calendar, everybody was like, oh, that's gonna be the end. So everybody was talking crazy then. We had 2012, that whole movie came out, some more fear instilled. I mean, we done had several dates where everybody thought that this was gonna be the end. And that's a whole contradiction to anybody that believes in the Bible, because it tells you in the Bible you're not gonna know the day nor hour. Like it tells you that you're not gonna know. So why would you allow somebody to predict it and then you believe it? So it's literally telling you in the holy book that you're not gonna know when it's gonna happen, and then some people telling you they think they know when it's gonna happen and you believe it. Total contradiction to what you're supposed to be believing. Oh, sick to why, man. Like I said, at the end of days, listen, you in the last days, the moment you come out of the womb, because you literally never know when it's gonna be your last breath. So you are in your last days, hypothetically speaking. You in the last days, the moment you come out of the womb, because you don't know. You don't know how long you're gonna live. So you always in we always in the last days. We don't know. We don't know, man. The future, like next week ain't promised to me. Next week ain't promised. Next week is not promised. So tomorrow's not promised. So we always in the last days. Always in the last days, man. So like for real, man. Like that's why I focus on the present and embrace the present. So that should make you do that, man. Just embrace the present, man. Embrace the here and now, because that's all you have. That's literally all you have. That's literally all you have, man. At the end of the day, that is literally all you have, the present. And I can't stress that enough, man. Too many people, man, we stressing about the future, things that ain't even happened yet. And then we stressing about things that we survived years ago. We stressing about it. Stop doing that. You dwelling on the past. You survived it. You came out okay. And then now you stressing about things that ain't even happened yet. Things that may never happen. So we gotta stop doing that, man. Like I said, we creating that disease state within us. We creating that disease state within us, man. A lot of people don't want to hold themselves accountable for sicknesses and diseases. See, that's the thing. That's another sensitive topic. I've read plenty of books on holistic health, and they tell you, main cause of disease, man, it revolves around lifestyle choices, toxic behavior, toxic choices, toxic lifestyle behaviors. So you smoking, you overindulging in sexual activities, you eating the wrong foods, you doing a line of work that's not conducive to your mental health. All of these things contribute to a disease state within the body. So you are literally killing yourself. Speaking of that, look at that. I'm talking and then the cops pull up in this parking lot. Let's see what they on here. Cops done been active where I done been at, man, here recently. But you are literally creating that condition within yourself. But those are things we don't want to talk about. Those are things we don't want to discuss. We don't want to hold ourselves accountable. Instead, we want to blame our family. Man, it runs in my family. That's why I got this cancer. It runs in my family. That's why I got this diabetes. Because it's easier to blame something else or someone else. It's easier to say it runs in my family opposed to I created this condition myself. It's way easier to say it runs in my family. That releases the accountability for your health. It's way easier to say it runs in my family opposed to, man, all of that candy, all of that junk food I was eating contributed to this condition. It's easier to play the it runs in my family role. Easier to play that. Way easier. Like I said, only thing runs in that family is bad habits. That's it. It's literally it. It's literally it. Zero. Peace. What's happening? William, exactly, and that's why I try to tell people, man. So when we talking about the end of days and things like that, literally, that's every day, that's every second that you breathe. So I don't. When somebody tell me, "Oh, the world gonna end," first of all, I ignore that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not paying that any mind. I don't pay that any mind. I stay away from all that type of nonsense. Miss me with that first and foremost. I'm not really religious, so that really doesn't faze me at all. So like, we not even gonna have to have that conversation because I don't subscribe to what you subscribe to. So people need to, for one, stop assuming, you know what I'm saying, that everybody is religious, you know? So just stop assuming that. Yeah, okay, cool. That's what I'm saying. Bad habits, man. Bad habits like drinking, smoking, just all that type of stuff, man. All that type of stuff. Anything you can think of, man, I'm telling you. Those are things that run in the family. Bad habits. Things that you saw your pops do that wasn't necessarily good. Things you saw your uncles do that wasn't necessarily good. Yeah, you saw your uncles pimping out women, and now you think that that's normal. That's a bad habit that you done picked up by watching your uncles. Uncles got to clean up their act. Got to understand the babies is watching. So that's the only thing that runs in the family is these trash habits. You eating all that garbage food, then you trying to raise children, and you raising them to eat the garbage food. Bad habits running in the family. Bad habits that we passing down. Bad habits that we continue to pass down. And wonder why the condition is not changing. Andronicus, what's that? What happened? What I missed? What I missed? But yeah, man, we gotta, you know what I'm saying? We gotta get a whole, and it's only a select few, it's only a chosen few that's gonna break the cycle. Because for the most part, bad habits run in all family, in all these families. It's bad habit, bad habit, bad habit. It's gonna be that chosen person in the family that's gonna say, you know, it's a hard road to take on. Lindell for sure. It's the now, man. That's all we have. The here and now, the present. Oh, Andronicus, yeah, they got to get on with that nonsense, man. We don't play those type of games. Ironically, that type of comment shows up around the same time the cop pull in here. Crazy, man. Timing is everything. That's crazy. Gaya for sure. For sure, man. And like back in the day, it was a lot worse simply because nowadays you can semi-control the media. Like it's easier to control kind of what you watch and what you consume from that point of view. Back in the day, man, more things was forced on us. Like, and we didn't have these phones, man. We didn't have YouTube and things like that back in the day. So you just watching the TV, man. Whatever coming on that TV, man, you just kind of forced to consume it. Nowadays, man, people ain't even forced to consume it and still consuming it. That lets you know how deep the programming and conditioning is. People choosing the destruction. It's a million things that you can watch on YouTube that's beneficial, that's healthy. It's a million things you can watch. It's a million people you can watch that will elevate your mind and your body. Million people you can watch. But we choose otherwise. We choose to watch people go back and forth and argue and gossip. We choose that. We'll see the person talking about, you could be a whole diabetic and you come across a video saying, do these 10 things to reverse your diabetes. You gonna skip right past that and you gonna see somebody talking about Kanye or something and you about to click on that. And then you gonna cry about your diabetic condition. You don't want to put in the work to reverse your condition, to learn what you need to learn. You skipping right over it. You skipping right over it. Alvarez, peace, what's happening? Oh, Andronicus, man, listen, I got a lot of things, a lot of habits that then ran in my family that were passed down. That's one of the reasons why I don't drink and I will never indulge in any form of alcohol, because I've seen what it does. I've seen what it does. Like, I did the knowledge young. Like, I did the knowledge early. Like, no, I don't want to indulge in that, man. I don't like, and that's why sometimes I even get offensive. Like, I take it seriously. When I tell you no, I don't drink, like I don't drink, and you offer me something after that, man, I'm gonna probably get upset because listen, don't disrespect me, man. I told you I don't drink. Don't try to force that on me. I don't like that peer pressure don't work on me, man. So you in a minute, you about to get these hands or you about to just get going off on because I told you no. So I take that type of stuff seriously, man, because I already know how bad it can get. If I was to indulge, I already know what I could become. And I'm not striving to become that. So I never even indulged in the first place. So I learned that early. I'm like, nah, I'm not fooling with alcohol. I'm not fooling with anything that's alcohol related. I'm not fooling with it. Why? I don't want to act like that. I don't want to act like this. I'm not doing it. What's the point? Don't look like it's enjoyable. So I'm staying away from that. So when it's people that know that that's what I stand for and they still offer me something, man, I don't appreciate that person. I don't appreciate a person like that. Man, Dry, I'm telling you, man, like when you look at the average family, like I said, cancer, diabetes, like those things are the common code. Those things are the common code. High blood pressure. That's the new headache. Like high blood pressure is the new headache, man. People blood pressure stay high. That's the new headache. Like if your blood pressure ain't high, like you straight abnormal out here. Like high blood pressure is the new headache. Cancer, diabetes are a new common code. New common code. Every other person you come across, man, diabetic, pre-diabetic, dealing with cancer, survived cancer, like all that type of stuff, man. Those are the new common code. Marcus, peace, what's happening? Ray, peace, what's going on? And William, you would think that's the case, but not so much. People, it's almost like people want to be it, and I hate to use this analogy, but when it comes to things like alcohol with me and like meat and all that type of stuff, things that I don't indulge in, it's almost like back in the day when you was a young bull and you came across a young girl that was a virgin and you wanted to be the first one to so-called pop the cherry. I feel like that's what people be on when they realize I don't drink and I don't eat certain foods. It's almost like they want to be the first one to get me to do those things. Like, yeah, I want to be the first one to make him drink this alcohol or influence him to drink this alcohol. Like, it's a competition. Like, it's straight a competition. They want to be the first one to get me to drink this alcohol. They want to turn me out to the alcohol. Like, that's a thing for some people. That's a thing for some people. I ain't got time for that. Kurt, man, I don't do it in general, man. But in moderation, there can be some forms of wine that are cool. In moderation, but I don't do it at all. Like I said, as far as a liquid, man, all I need is water for the most part. And I might give me some organic orange juice or something along those lines, man. But that's about it. Like that's about it for me. I'm cooling on the water for the most part. And like I said, some organic orange juice and things of that nature. Other than that, man, I'm rolling. I'm good. Maurice, peace, what's happening? But yeah, it's people out here, man, when they find out that you don't indulge in certain things, man, they literally trying to turn you out. They literally trying to get you to do it just so they can say, I got him to drink that. I got him to drink this beer. I got him to drink this alcohol. I got him to eat this meat. They want to be the one to say that. I'm not giving anybody that luxury, man. I'm not. And I can't stand when I see people that's on that type of vibe and time. Please leave me alone when you know what I stand for and you know what I do and what I don't do. Leave me alone. Because that peer pressure, that type of stuff doesn't work on me. It doesn't work. If anything, I'm going to make you feel bad about what you're doing because I'm going to start speaking some truth to power and you're not going to like what it is that I say to you and you're going to say that I'm taking things too seriously. Whole while you shouldn't be trying to get me to do something that I already told you 5 times that I don't do. So then when I respond, now I'm the one that's taking things too far and too seriously. Now you took it too far the second time you tried to offer me something that I told you I don't do that first time. That's taking it too far. So we gotta be mindful of those individuals. Yeah, Walker, that's what I'm saying. You gotta watch a person like that. That person is not your friend. That person is not your fam. That person is not your blood. That person that's trying to get you to do something that you already said you don't do, and you doing it for health reasons. When they trying to get you to do otherwise, that person is to not be trusted, man. I don't trust people like that. I do not trust a person like that at all. I don't trust a person like that. Lindell, you say, do you believe in forgiving? It depends on the person and the situation. I'm one of the ones though that I may forgive, but I don't forget. So with that being said, I don't blindly do anything. So you got blind forgiveness, and then you got forgiveness with reason, with conditions and things like that. Like, I don't do unconditional love. My love has conditions. It comes the same with my forgiving. And it depends on the situation. It depends on the person. But I don't forget what you did to me, though, because you did that. I may forgive you in the sense that, all right, we can try to keep this friendship or this, whatever it is, we can try to keep it going. But I got to view you in an entirely different light due to what you did to me. So if you're not able to handle those stipulations, then that's on you. And you probably going to end this friendship or whatever for me. So it's going to come with stipulations. So I may forgive you in the sense that I may be willing to give you another chance, but I'm going to view you in an entirely different light depending on what it is that you did to me. William, that's something that is not discussed when it comes to men and young boys and things of that nature. That's something that's not discussed. That's something that's not discussed, and I know a few reasons why. But a lot of people don't understand the type of pressure that is put on a man when he is trying to refrain from having sex. Like when a man, women accuse men of a lot when it comes to sex and things of that nature. But I've been a victim of, and I have heard about other dudes trying to really refrain from it, from overindulging in, or just not having mindless sex and things of that nature. Just trying not to do it. And I'm talking about the women preying on them. It's almost like they get a thrill out of that. Like, oh, he said he ain't having sex. Then that just make them want to have the sex with you more. That's predatory. That's not cool. That's not cool. No. If I'm telling you I'm not trying to do this, that don't mean step it up and become more aggressive. People don't think dudes face that type of pressure. And a lot of times people only want to see it when the dude folds to that type of pressure and then want to say, oh, well, that's his fault, this, that, and the third. I get it. Yeah, he made a decision. But man, the type of pressure that was probably placed on him. Man, it's women out here that put sexual pressure on men. That's an 100% fact. It's women out here that put sexual pressure on men. Big time. Big time. And I can't even make that up. That happens. That happens. And that's some that's hard pressure to fight. That's hard. I'm telling you, that's hard pressure to fight. As a man, I'm speaking as a man. That is hard pressure to fight. And I'll be lying to you if I said for a man to just turn down a woman that is coming on to him aggressively, just throwing it at him aggressively, and she's attractive, man, that's hard. That's hard. It's hard to fight that. It is hard to fight that. You literally will just have to disconnect from that woman because you're going to eventually fold, man. You will eventually fold, especially if you're trying to build something with her. You're going to eventually succumb to that pressure. You just going to have to disconnect from her. But people don't think that happens. People do not understand. People don't think that something along those lines happens. I'm telling y'all, man, that is a big thing. It's a big issue. It's a big problem. It's a big problem. So just like women feel like we need to respect them when it comes to the whole nature of sexual encounters and things of that nature. I feel like women, y'all need to do a better job of respecting men who not trying to throw themselves out there like that. Again, we already talked about it in a previous stream. When a man rejects the sex from a woman, then we get labeled homosexual and all that type of stuff. You must be gay. You must be this, that, and the third. We got to face that type of backlash simply because we trying to refrain. Because the body is a temple and we not trying to have sexual encounters with any and everybody. We want to make sure that you are the right person. We can't do that apparently. We homosexual if we do that. No, that's sexual exchange, man. That's a powerful exchange, man. I don't want to just have a sexual exchange, sexual encounter with any and everybody. No, it's some dudes that value that. It's some dudes that view the body as a temple as well. So respect that too. Just like you supposed to view your body as a temple as a woman, you should be honored that it's a dude out here that's not trying to be so quick to tear you down. Like, come on. Okay, cool. I'm telling you. Like people I'm telling you. That's one of the most complicated things to turn down. I'm telling you. Eventually you will fold. Eventually you gonna fold. If you continue to be around a woman as a man, I don't care how disciplined you are. If you continue to place yourself around a woman that you are physically attracted to and mentally attracted to, and she is aggressively trying to like have sex with you and you try not to, you will eventually fold. You just gonna eventually fold, man. You're gonna eventually fold, man. You're gonna eventually fold, man, because all it takes is that one bad day. When you having that one bad day, man, things going your way and she becoming more aggressive, you're going to fold. You're going to fold. That's all it take. That's all it take. That is something that's very complicated. It's very complicated, man. I'm just speaking from a perspective of a man. Like, it's very complicated. It's very hard. We literally got to remove ourselves from the woman. Like, we cannot be around you. Like, dude, like if I tell you one time that I'm not trying to do that until I feel like it's right for me, and you continue to press the issue, like at that point, like I'm gonna have to make a decision. Like, all right, this may not work because she continued to try to press this issue, like, and I'm not trying to do this because it's really gonna fold. You gonna fold. JF Peace, what's happening? You will fold, man. You will fold 9 times out of 10 around that woman that you physically and mentally attracted to, and she trying to throw the sex at you and you trying not to have it. Dude is gonna fold. Gonna fold. Justin, that's what I'm saying. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It is a done deal. It is a wrap. It is a wrap. And I'm not even, like, I get it. We should have self-control, self-discipline. But that's the thing. People don't want to acknowledge the 99 times that we was like, nah, we ain't trying to do it. That one time we decided to do it, and it, like, you know what I'm saying? People want to judge us based off of that. Like that's a whole different type of discipline, man. It's a whole different type of discipline. Yeah, Just, I'm telling you, that it's real, it's disrespectful, man. Once that man lets you know, like, I'm not trying, just like if you, like when the woman says, I'm not trying to have, like the man's supposed to respect that. That may get called rape, you know what I'm saying? Like that may be called rape if the dude is aggressively pursuing the sex after the woman has told him no. That is rape. What is it when the dude tells you no and you aggressively pursuing sex? What is that? It's rape if the dude do it. If that woman says no, and that man continues to pursue sex, man, that's rape. That's rape. What is it on the flip side though? Like, what is it on the flip side? It's a challenge on the flip side. Women like, oh, he ain't trying to have sex. Oh, okay, all right, I got something for him. Dude, that's corny. That's lame. There are plenty of other things that we can do. Other than that, like if we not trying to do that, man, we got plenty of other things we can build on. I feel like that's just ridiculous, man. That's ignorant. And that is just a big lack of control. And that's like, come on, man. At some point, that becomes problematic and a turnoff. Yeah, Justin, I've seen that, man, thinking that it's straight okay. And just that's sad that you had to tell them that, because I guarantee you the ones that you had to, like they be harassing them out here. But it ain't harassment though. It ain't harassment though. Like they focus on the one time that we gave in, and they like, well, it ain't harassment because you did it, you liked it, this, that, and the third. Like, man, I feel like this is a very misunderstood topic, and it's not thoroughly discussed. It's not thoroughly discussed out here, man, because again, a lot of people are under the impression that dudes, we are just sexual creatures, this, that, and the third, man. It's some of us that we not trying to go out like that. We not trying to do that often. Like, no, with any and everybody. It's some dudes that's built like that. Zero, appreciate that donation, my brother. Antoinette, Peace Queen, what's happening? Oh, the real Supreme Justice, a big myth. A big myth. Like that's a whole nother, you know what I'm saying, video right there. Big myth. Big myth. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, man. Once you come in that righteous form, man, it's like, ooh, okay, I'm about to try to turn him out. Like, all right, he too righteous. I'm finna turn him out. He need to, y'all, like, man, come on, man. Like, that's crazy, man. Like, they try to tap into that side. Like I said, man, when I was with a person a very long time ago, and she was basically just trying to make me angry just to see if I could get angry because I was just so peaceful. Like, that's crazy. Like, man, come on, man, don't do that. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. Yeah, Andronicus, and that's what I'm saying, man. That woman can press sex 24/7 all day, never stop, and it's not a problem. Like that's some hard pressure from a, like, listen, that's just some, people don't understand the pressure that comes with being a man in regards to that sexual pressure. That sexual pressure is real, because the thing of it is, women, y'all know how y'all hormones are. So it's like, when it's that time when y'all are aroused for absolutely no reason other than your hormones being just crazy, it's like, to reject that is, man, I don't think women know how they be when it's that type of situation going on. I don't think y'all understand how aggressive y'all be and just how crazy that is. Like, dude, we trying to chill and you just trying to make everything a sexual situation. No, like nah, like that gets hard to resist after a while. Oh, just for sure. I know you well informed of that. But I'm talking just being on the receiving end. Like, y'all may know how it work. Of course, obviously, you know how it work internally. But just being on the receiving end, like being the person that got to receive that type of energy, whole different ball game. That's why sometimes I tell women, like, we are the ones that got to deal with y'all. Like, y'all may go through what y'all go through, but we got to deal with it, because we got to deal with y'all going through it. You know, so I like, just dealing with it is a whole different ball game. Because it's like y'all will be going through something and then say it's the hormones and then say we don't understand, but then expect us to understand it and deal with it. It'd be like we be confused. Yeah, just for sure. Like, it's confusing. Like, it's confusing. It's very confusing. So like, a brother on the receiving end of that, like, we almost don't know what to do. Like, we almost don't know how to move. Like, whoa, wait a minute, what's happening? Like what's going on here? Like, it be getting crazy. It get crazy in the field. Like, and it can get confusing. And it's just, that's a weird situation. That's a crazy situation to be a part of, man. When y'all hormones get to going crazy and you the dude on the receiving end of that, like, it's almost like you pray, like they praying on you, like they gonna pray on you. That what she is going to pray on you, because she has got to fulfill this desire that she feel like her hormones are telling her she got to do this to this person, and she feel like she got to fulfill that because the hormones got control of her, and you are the victim. You are the target. You are the target of the hormones. When you become the target, like, they relentless at that particular point. So it's like real in the field, man. And then when you reject it due to the hormones, now you got to fight with them. You got to argue with them and fight with them and this, that, and the third. It's like, yo, what's happening? I just said, no, not today. Not tonight. Don't want to do it. That turns into a whole situation. A whole nother situation. Dominic, peace. What's happening, my brother? Terenzo, my brother, appreciate that donation and the breakdown as always. Making the understanding understood. Yeah, the real supreme justice, man. And like, for a minute, and I know this don't apply to all women, but for the longest, I was like, you know, them not wanting nice. I was like, nah, man, that ain't. I'm like, nah, that ain't really how it is in the field. That just ain't how it is. Until I started to observe Facebook. And some of the things that I saw women posting, and I was like, dang, it's a large majority of women who literally prefer to be dogged out, disrespected, and to have dudes that are basically no good. I'm like, whoa, so that's literally a thing out here. That's literally a thing. That's literally a preference. Like, I just thought that was some nonsense, man. I was like naive and gullible for a minute. I'm like, nah, man. I'm like, chicks really ain't out here wanting no good individuals. They ain't out here preferring that. That don't even make any sense. Why would somebody prefer something that, you know, just being naive and gullible? And I just really just started analyzing it. And people just posting things. Like, I want my guy to be this, that, and the third. I want my guy he got to be thugged out. And I'm like, what? Like, what? Like, I thought that was some nonsense, man. But like, it's really real in the field, man. It's really real in the field. It's really real in the field. Like, you have some women that prefer that. Shout out to the queens that do not prefer that nonsense. And shout out to the queens that don't tolerate that nonsense. Like, you shouldn't even tolerate a brother that ain't striving to do the knowledge and bring the knowledge to the cipher. Like, you shouldn't even tolerate that. Like, no. So shout out to the queens that ain't on that. Like, dude, you should not be on that. You shouldn't be on that and then just wonder why you attracting a certain type of dude, a grimy guy. Like, look at the energy that you dishing out. Yeah, Dominique, I'm telling you, man, and then, like I said, when I went through the situation I went through years ago, that also opened my eye. Like I said, when she was intentionally trying to make me mad just to see if I could get angry, because I was choosing at that time, because I was coming into a lot of knowledge, and I was like, man, I'm mastering all that, because y'all know I dealt with anger issues and things like that. So I was mastering all that, keeping it under control. I'm like, listen, lady, I'm not getting upset to protect you. I don't want to get like that. So you shouldn't want me to get like that. But intentionally trying to provoke me just to see if I can get angry. I'm like, dude, this crazy. So like, you want that type of person to keep it spicy. Like, that's ridiculous. If that's what you want, man, like, you got a lot of self-work to do. A lot of self-work. Okay, cool. You say, is it because lack of positive male role models growing up? That's a contributing factor to it. But what's crazy, like, I'm not saying that doesn't play a role, you know, having a good, you know, the father figure and the mother figure. But man, honestly, like, this is where social media can become that's that blessing and the curse of social media. Social media then made it to the point where it almost don't even matter sometimes, man. Like, if you have decent parents in the crib, man, like, the social media, man, the influence of social media is real in the field. It's real in the field. It's real in the field, man. People, like, these children get exposed to a lot real fast. Like, you got third and fourth graders with phones. I didn't get a cell phone till I got into high school, and that joint was a garbage flip phone, and you couldn't do nothing on it. You couldn't talk till after 9 o'clock. Like, you know what I'm saying? You couldn't take all these pictures. Like, you couldn't do all that type of stuff. So these, they growing up too fast, man. They get exposed to a lot too fast. Way too fast. Way too fast, man. They are getting exposed to a lot way too fast, man. And that's when the social media and all that could become a curse. It's like, man, don't know, like, Third grade, you got a cell phone. And not just a regular cell phone. You have a smartphone. The smartphone is the new flip phone. Like if you got a cell phone, it's a so-called smartphone, which is really a dumb phone, but you got one. There is no get them a flip phone. Like, nah, just give them this flip phone. No, you finna get a whole smartphone. And then you got a tablet. Then you got an iPad. It's a whole third grader probably that got all of this. Like it's just, man, and it's hard to, like, and you would say, oh, well, they just shouldn't, they should, they can have control over the phones and what they see on, man, but it's really hard. In this day and age, it's hard to conceal the reality from your child. One way or another, they're gonna get exposed to this nonsense. One way or another. Whether or not you put the child lock on the computer and the phone, guess what? They homeboy got a phone. They gonna see it on their phone. So it's hard to conceal that reality from the child, man. Like you would literally have to keep them in the crib and you have to watch them 24/7. The moment they step outside, they liable to see all this stuff you trying to hide from them. So it's hard, man. You want to be that parent, put the child lock and say, you can't look at this, you can't look at that. All they gonna do is see it somewhere else. That's all they gonna do. They gonna find it somewhere else. So I honestly, to be honest with y'all, and this may go against what everybody think and believe, but I say if anybody was to expose something to a child, like whether it be some type of content, it should be you. Therefore, now you can control the narrative. You can control the narrative. You can break it down to them. A lot of times, though, they get exposed to some of these things from outsiders. Like sometimes that bad stuff, we need to have that conversation with them first. We need to expose them to it first. Like, and that's why I give my parents kudos. Like they wasn't trying to conceal things from me, man. I was able to walk whatever path I wanted to walk. It was up to me. They didn't say, hey, you can't watch this, you can't watch that. Like I seen all this stuff early. I seen all of this stuff. I seen stuff early. Like I was watching movies that a kid probably shouldn't have been watching early. Like I seen these things. They wasn't trying to conceal that from me because I was going to see it anyway. If I wasn't able to watch it at 10, at 15, 16, I was going to watch this. I was going to watch it because it's curiosity. I want to see it. So like, man, just let them watch it. So I honestly don't believe in baby and kids, man. They going to get exposed to this type of stuff anyway. They're going to get exposed to it. But when you expose it to them, you're able to control that narrative. I feel like I turned out just fine being exposed to things at an early age, at a young age. I didn't see that backfire on people that try to, man, when you try to shelter that child, I didn't see that backfire a lot of times. You try to shelter that child, then they get to college or they get on their own and they a loose cannon, boy, they a loose cannon. When you expose a child to some of that stuff early, it's like it don't even faze them. Like now when I'm in college, like I don't even care to do none of that stuff. Like when I got to college, like since I was able to do what I wanted to kind of do, not do what I wanted to do, but since I was able to have that kind of freedom as a child, like I didn't care to go out and have that type of fun. Like, man, that stuff is overrated. It's overrated. But the person that wasn't exposed to that, now they want to experience it. So sometimes sheltering that child, man, can backfire. Like it literally backfires a lot of times. I've literally seen parents do that. Don't be so strict to the point where you're going to have that child rebelling against you. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because again, they going to go to their best friend's house and their parents ain't that strict. And now they got new parents now. Because now they hating you because they mad that you ain't exposed them to this thing. Like, and now they love it. And now you trying to tell them why this is bad. But it's too late now. It's too late now. They didn't been exposed and now they gravitating towards it and now they don't like you. But if you would have exposed them to it, then explained it and broken it down, then that wouldn't have been new to them. They would have already been exposed to it. They would have already been like, man, I already know about that. I already seen this. My father already discussed this with me. My mother already talked about this with me. It's not new to them. Tierra Peace, what's happening? Oh, just it's because it's an antique. It's almost like a VCR is almost like a book like a limited edition of a book. That mug might be $800 and $900 because there are not that many in print. VCR is the same way. It's an antique item. Dominique, I'm telling you, most of the young ladies that I saw go crazy in college, they were sheltered all the way up until college. That is the wrong approach. It's the wrong. That approach has backfired more times than it has been successful, in my opinion. I'm not saying you should encourage your daughter to go out here and have sex and this, that, and the third and all that type of stuff. But man, don't be so strict to the point where she just, again, when she gets of age, she just gonna go crazy because she gonna want to get it out her system. She gonna want to get all that partying, all the mistakes out her system because you didn't allow her to make a mistake all the way up until she turned 18. Now she about to try to condense all of her mistakes, all that type of living from 18 to like 21, 22. And it may last all the way until she 30. But if you allow them to kind of trial and error it, starting at like 14, 15, then when they get to college, it's like, man, I already done did this. Nah, it's overrated. I don't fool with it. I tried it. I did that at 16. I was going to these clubs at 16. This stuff is stupid. I'm in college now. I'm going to focus on this. Or I'm going to do this. Zero. To answer that question, I say Illinois. Oh yeah, Kuma, yeah, them old school stereos are them joints. Oh yeah, Justin, that's what it ends up. And just that's crazy that I ain't add you as a moderator. But we finna change that. That's crazy. But yeah, just like yeah, and that's the thing. When you start trying to shelter that child, they gonna feel like they can't bring certain things to you. And again, that's backfiring. And then, like I said, they gonna have a best friend, and they parents a little more open, and they gonna feel like they gonna start being closer to those parents opposed to you. I've seen stuff like that happen. People clinging to other people's parents because they're a little more open and receptive than their own parents. So you don't want that situation. Then you get mad, like, man, why are you talking to such and such moms and not me? Because she was listening. It's like she wasn't. She's open-minded, more open-minded than you. Yeah, Gay. Like I said, man, at the same time, like everything pretty much is a tool. What you decide to do with the tool is on you. And technology is one of them joints. Technology is one of them joints, man. Like it's a tool. It's a tool that can be used to benefit you. It's a tool that can be used to harm as well. You know, so choice is yours. But sometimes, man, these children, they don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? When they get exposed to certain things on via social media, they don't really understand what's happening, the whole magnitude of what's really happening. As adults, we able to kind of detect and decipher the nonsense and filter through the nonsense. A child like, whoa, what's this? Like, so it hits a little different. Oh yeah, Andronicus for sure, man. For sure. You never want to be that enemy, man, to your child, man. So again, like I said, we gonna expose some things to the child. Why not you be the one to expose them to it? Why not you be the one to expose them to it so you can break it down and tell them why this is an error and you didn't expose it to them? Like, boom, all right, you watch this, but see, here's the problem. And now you can break it down bit by bit, piece by piece. Dominique, for sure. Like, we ain't trying. We don't want to go backwards. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to go backwards at all. We don't want to go backwards at all. You know, a lot of people, and that's what a lot of people do. Like when you make it out of a certain type of environment and situation, got to be mindful in regards to, and that's what get a lot of these rappers and stuff killed. Like I ain't saying that you can't provide for, you know what I'm saying, the hood that raised you and made you, but man, you can't be blindly walking around that neighborhood. You can't be blind. You can't be blindly. You can't be blindly walking around that neighborhood. You can't be doing that. Yeah, we can't be blindly doing that, man. That didn't got a lot of entertainers, that didn't got a lot of rappers killed, man. I ain't finna blindly walk around this neighborhood after I done left, you know what I'm saying, and made it out, and made a name for myself. Nope. Nope. If I do things for that neighborhood, it's gonna be real discreet. Cause we supposed to evolve, man. We supposed to get up out of there. We supposed to allow the younger generation to see us make it out of there and go to some parts of town where they don't think that we can go. We supposed to do that. They supposed to see that. They supposed to see that, man, this dude was in this low income area with me, then he made it out here to where they say we can't even live. And he out there. They supposed to see that that's possible. They supposed to see it. So we gotta be a lot more mindful of that, man. We gotta be way more mindful. Like, man, it's all about evolving. You can't be blindly going back to these neighborhoods, man, thinking that you untouchable and invincible, man. That's gonna backfire for you. That's gonna backfire for you 100% of the time, man, because you got haters, man. These people, they didn't make it out. You did. So while you if it's 20 homeboys, while you may have 19 of them that's proud of you, all it takes is that one that's hating, that's jealous, that's envious. It just takes that one, literally. That's it, and that can cost you your life. All it takes is that one homeboy that's hating, or that one person that's in that cipher to hate, and that's your life right there. That's all it takes. That one person to hate on you. All it takes is that one person to be jealous of you, that can actually get access to you, can get up close to you, and that's it. You done. Yeah, Dominique, that's what I'm saying. There's no way even if I'm in my own store, it's no way I'm having to listen. I'm talking to Farrakhan. I'm having the fruit of Islam with me. Like, it's not going down. I'm not saying that would have saved his life, but if somebody was just there that had a weapon, they would have been able to, like, that situation would have ended a lot differently. If somebody that was there with just a weapon, one person just had a gun on them or something. One person in that particular situation just had a gun, that situation would have ended a lot differently. A lot differently. So nah, if I reach a certain status, man, I'm not like, listen, you can call it what you want to call it. I call it being cautious. If I'm going to certain places, I'm having a few dudes that'll blow your head off for the sake of protecting me. I'm having them around me. I'm having them around me. Point blank, period. I'm gonna tell you right now. Let me reach a certain status like that. If y'all see me in any neck of the woods, it's some people in there that'll blow somebody's head off for the sake of protecting me. That's how I'm gonna roll. I'm not going out like that. I'm just not gonna have myself out in the open and there, because I already don't trust people now, and I ain't nowhere near that type of status. So I could just imagine reaching that status. Nice, he will get you killed quickly, quickly. Yeah, Kuma, that's what I'm saying. You try, like, and I get it, because you went from that dude in the hood just like everybody else to like hanging with a whole different type of people like overnight. So it's an adjustment period. Like, all you've known is the hood, man. So that, like, you comfortable. So comfort zone. But man, you got to be uncomfortable in order to grow. You didn't outgrew that environment, man. You can't go back to it. That environment gonna be your downfall, and we cannot allow the environment to be the downfall. Hey Ray, man, we'll get you on the payroll, man, cause I ain't playing around. I ain't playing. People think I'm playing, but I will create a whole nother FOI in this joint. Like, to give y'all some scoop on that, like the whole organization that I'm talking about creating and starting up. Man, we gotta have it. We gotta have people that's about that life. I got that jewel from a bit, like from a dude that has a business that I was connected with, man, that I networked with, that I know personally, through working in banks and things like that. He said he keeps a couple of those on the payroll. He keep a couple of them, man. And anytime they get into some trouble, he bails them out. And he said, man, that's loyalty. You know what I'm saying? He said, man, a lot of times these people, man, like gang members, like former gang members and things like that, he said, man, they have a loyalty to you that you cannot imagine. Once you, like, get them out of trouble and things of that nature, man. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, ain't nobody finna just run up on me. It's not happening. That's not happening in a situation like that. Somebody gonna have to chop his head off. Now, if it's a physical altercation, I ain't worried about it. We can do that. But nah, nowadays physical altercations don't happen. People go right for the guns. So then you gotta have people on your team that they also go right for the guns. Cause that's what you just gotta do. Just what you gotta do. That's literally what you gotta do. That's what you gotta have. So I ain't gonna be one of them ones. Like, nope, I'm walking around with a team full of dudes that's ready to blow heads off. Ready to just chop heads off. Like, stop playing with us, man. And Ray, and that's exactly what I'm saying. Exactly what I'm saying. We gotta have people willing to die for it. And that's part of the problem too. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what, like, a lot of people had that fear. So it's like when you got a person that's willing to stand up and say some things that the establishment is not gonna like, we gotta protect that person. Gotta protect that person. Gotta protect that person, man. A lot of times, man, we just don't have enough people. Like the Fruit of Islam, them dudes willing to put their life on the line for Farrakhan. They will die before they allow Farrakhan to be killed. Literally. Like, no. They will put their life on the line for Farrakhan. There is not, like, under their watch, nothing is happening to Farrakhan if it don't happen to them first. So in order for somebody to get to Farrakhan, they got to get to them. They got to get through them. Like, that's the type of energy we need. Nero, peace, what's happening? Dominique, I'm telling you, especially in the hood. Especially in the hood, man. And I'm talking about having, like, you ain't even gonna know who they are. They hiding. Like, you think you might have access to me, but it's somebody that got the beam right on you. Like, as soon as you try something, boom, got you. Well, Dominique, that's because, see, it's a difference between when somebody like Farrakhan, somebody such as myself, dealing with people of that nature, opposed to a person that's like a gangster himself, dealing with, like, Suge Knight was just a gangster himself, so then he had just hired more gangsters, and then they were just acting gangster. Like, I wouldn't, like, you know what I'm saying, the environment would be different if it's somebody such as myself, because I ain't finna be, we ain't gonna do that. Like the FOI, like, they under control. So it all depends on the person that is in power in that particular situation, or the head of the organization. If you got a loose cannon that's the head of that type of movement, then that's about to be a problem. But Suge Knight was a bully himself, so he was just like, that's the mentality that we coming with. William, 100%. And so, and like I said, it's a time for peace. It's a time for war. So, like, if it's about to be wartime, you got to have some soldiers on your team. So it's a time for peace. It's a time for war. So when it's wartime, I got to have some soldiers on my team. You know what I'm saying? I got to have some soldiers ready to go. Ready to go. Oh yeah, Ray, for sure, man. It's way bigger than us, man. It's big. What Dead Press say is bigger than hip hop. Like, it's bigger than us. It's always bigger than us. It's always bigger than us, man. And that's what we got to understand. It is definitely bigger than us, man. That's why I speak on some of the things that I speak on, man. That's why I have the message that I have. Like, it's bigger than me at this point. Like, at this point, I don't even feel like I'm doing it for me anymore. Like, I feel like I'm doing it for future generations, man. Like, that's why I feel like I'm doing what I'm doing sometimes. Like, I don't even feel like this for me no more. Like, at first it was like, all right, this is what I want to do. This for me. Like, now I feel like it's past that point. Yeah, Suge. Yeah, Suge was played college ball and everything, man. Suge just, some people just caught up with it. Like, some people just are fascinated with a certain image. You know, some people are fascinated with certain images. You can have everything going right at home, but you could be fascinated with the wrong image, and You know what I'm saying? So we know a lot of people like that, man. They get caught up with the wrong type of image, man. Just like some of the serial killers and all that, man. They was raised in like luxury, and they still turn out to be serial killers because they caught it. They fascinated with it for whatever reason. Just the epitome of it. Yeah, just hey, it's for the babies. Like we say, the babies are the greatest. So that's what we do everything for. We do everything for the babies. We do everything for the future generation. Whether we doing it directly or indirectly, we doing it for the babies. We doing it for the future generation. That's what it's for. That's what it's about at the end of the day. That's why we do what we do. You know, I feel like sometimes our ancestors just would be disappointed because they left a lot of writings on the walls for us to get the message, get the hint, and we didn't just overlook them joints. We didn't just ignore them joints. We ignored the warnings. We ignored the signs that they was trying to give us. We ignored it. He ignored it. Yep. Nope. Never mind. We don't care nothing about that. We ignored it. Like we ignored it, man. They was giving us plenty of signs and symbols and warnings, and we just ignored it, overlooked it. Ignored and overlooked. Like that's what we did. So we gotta stop ignoring the signs. We gotta stop ignoring the warnings, man. Like at this point, when it comes to a solution, we don't really have to figure out a solution. The solution had already been given to us years and years ago, centuries, decades, all of that ago. Solution has been out here. The answers have been out here. We just ignored them. We ignored them. The blueprint had been laid out. We just ignored the blueprint. We ignored the blueprint. Foundation has been set, man. It has been set for sure. So we just got to stop it. We got to stop ignoring all of that, man. We just got to really stop ignoring it. Go back, do the knowledge to your history, do the knowledge to your people, see what type of warnings they left behind because they did. They definitely left some. And we got to apply those warnings to today's time, man. And we just can't continue to overlook the warnings, the messages, and things of that nature, man. We cannot continue to do that because there's plenty of people that then tried to warn us and tried to warn us about what's about to happen, about what happened to them back then and how to dodge it from happening now. We just overlooked all of that. We overlooked it. We ignored it. We chose to remain ignorant and oblivious to all of that, to what was right in front of us. But when you study your people, man, you see what I'm saying? You're going to see the warnings. You're going to see all the things that they was trying to tell us about. All the people that they was trying to warn us about. They told us, man. They told us. Dominique for sure. And Tupac is an ancestor. You know what I'm saying? Tupac fits that bill. And his music definitely dropped a lot of Jews on us and definitely was trying to warn us. Definitely. Tupac and his music, timeless, definitely gave us a lot of warnings, and we still didn't listen. Tupac gave us one song that I would tell you right now. Brenda's Got a Baby. Timeless. That song is still relevant because now Brenda's baby had a baby and she's having a baby. It's still happening. He literally gave us that song. He literally gave that song almost older than me. He literally gave us that song, and we didn't do anything in regards to the message of that song. And plenty of other songs that he gave us. Warnings, man. Warnings. Like those songs that's a warning. Like, look, this is what's happening. This is what's happening out here. We got to stop this. Yeah, just, man, I'm telling you, man, Pac, I'm telling y'all, man, Pac was changes, man. That's that whole entire song. Boom. Like, it's just so many. Come on, man. Pac just dropped too many jewels. Keep your head up, man. Like, he just gave us too many jewels, man. But that Brenda's Got a Baby is so relevant because it almost got worse. It's like Pac made Brenda's Got a Baby, and then it got worse. Like, the situation got worse. Like, that's crazy. Pac made Brenda's Got a Baby, and I swear to you, the situation got worse. Hermetic, the Predator album. Q put out some jewels. Yeah, the Predator album, most definitely. Most definitely, man. I feel like all of Q's early albums was dope, especially what was that? Lethal Injection, the one he got Khalid Muhammad on. Like that joint crazy, but yeah, some Q early albums dropping jewels. Cool, man. Like I said, man, I told you I didn't got some of the worst advice from the older generation, man. So I didn't have some problems with that generation. Yeah, hey, that book is a jewel, man. Like both volumes, like that book is a jewel, and that's what I do, man. So when I'm studying Malcolm X, when I'm studying Huey Newton, I'm studying anybody up in the past. I see where they went wrong. Like, man, I don't want to like. I admire what they did, but they obviously went wrong somewhere. Marcus Garvey, he went wrong somewhere. So it's like, where did they go wrong? So I need to learn from that. Ray, yeah, Machiavelli was definitely for the militant. That's like I'm telling y'all. That's why my Facebook page that was the most famous was Illuminati Bell. Like that was literally my name on Facebook. To tell you, like Tupac dog on there created a coat with that, man. That was like my name on that joint. We was riding that energy. We was riding that energy. But y'all, man, with that being said, man, I just looked at the time, man. I'm out here building, man. Be losing track of time when the build be going good. But I gotta get this gym ready, man. Y'all see I'm in the gym, man. We still waiting on some things in the crib, man. So I gotta go live from the gym. Like I said, wife ain't able to do it. So I'ma hold it down, man. I'ma stream till she able to get on this joint. And I'ma still stream. We still gonna tap into this information and this motivation. But I figure since knowledge is infinite, I always got things to tap into. Why not? But with that being said, y'all, man, I'm gonna go ahead and log off, get on up out of here, get this gym ready. So y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Tuesday, man. Make sure y'all eat good, eat some healthy foods, get the rest in, jot some things down in the journal, meditate, do some affirmation before you lay it down, all that good stuff, man. I'm out.